Doctors, what's the nastiest thing you pulled out of someone? I had this 12-year-old who wouldn't confess to swallowing something dangerous, even after I literally pulled it out of his intestines during surgery. Last month, an 8-year-old named Carson came in with his mom, who was freaking out, and he was bent over holding his stomach looking like Voldemort. The kid's face was all sweaty and gray, like he'd been sick for days. His mom kept saying he'd been throwing up since morning and couldn't keep water down. When I walked in, Carson was trying to act all tough sitting on the exam bed. You know that look kids get when they know they screwed up but don't want to get busted? That was him. I asked the usual stuff about what he ate and when it started hurting. That kid swore up and down he had no clue why his stomach hurt so bad. His mom mentioned Carson had been doing some school project the night before. Poster board and markers all over his room. She found him passed out at his desk around midnight with art supplies everywhere. Next morning, he woke up screaming about his stomach. I pressed on his belly, and the kid almost flew off the bed. His stomach was hard as a rock and hurt everywhere I touched. Something was definitely stuck in there, blocking everything up. When I asked if he'd swallowed anything weird, he shook his head like crazy. Carson, this is really important. Did you put anything in your mouth last night? Kid looked me straight in the eyes. No way. I'm not some little kid who eats random stuff. His mom jumped in saying she noticed his favorite blueberry-scented marker was missing from the pack. Carson's face went super red, but he stuck to his story. Had no idea where that marker went. Probably fell behind his desk or something. We needed an x-ray to see what was going on. Carson complained the whole way to radiology about wasting time. Kept saying his stomach just hurt from bad lunch food. Maybe food poisoning. Maybe the flu. Definitely not anything he swallowed, though. 20 minutes later, I'm looking at his x-ray, trying not to bust out laughing. There it was clear as day. A whole marker sitting sideways in his small intestine. You could see everything. The cap, the tip, even the little ridges on the plastic. Stuck in there, blocking everything. I showed Carson and his mom the image on my computer. His mom gasped and started yelling at him for lying. But this kid, he squints at the screen real hard and goes, "That's not mine. I almost choked." Carson, that's literally inside your body right now. Someone else must have put it there. His mom looked ready to lose it, but I explained we had to focus on getting it out before it caused real damage. The kid needed emergency surgery like right now. Even getting wheeled to the OR, Carson kept denying it. Maybe someone snuck into his room and made him eat it in his sleep. Maybe markers just randomly appeared in people's bodies sometimes. Maybe the x-ray machine was broken and showing fake markers. The surgery went perfect. I carefully pulled out one partially dissolved blueberry-scented marker from his small intestine. The stomach acid had started eating away at the plastic after sitting in there for 12 hours. I put it in a specimen jar to show them later. When Carson woke up from surgery, the first thing he asked was if we found anything weird. I held up the jar with his marker floating in fluid. You could still see part of the label. Same exact brand his mom bought. "That's definitely not mine," he mumbled, still drugged up. "Never seen that marker before in my life." His mom threw her hands up and walked out. The nurses were dying laughing. This kid was committed to his lie like his life depended on it. Over the next day, while he recovered, Carson came up with wild explanations. His sister planted it. Markers could teleport. He sleepwalked to a store and bought an identical marker to swallow. When I discharged him, I made sure to give him the marker in its jar as a souvenir. He looked at it and said, "Thanks for removing that random marker that mysteriously appeared in my intestines through no fault of my own." His mom rolled her eyes so hard, I worried they'd get stuck. As they left, she whispered she was hiding all the scented markers at home. Carson heard her and yelled, "Good idea! Make sure no more markers magically teleport into my stomach."